The Gold Enemy Hunter trophy in Sonic Superstars is unlocked for finding and destroying all of the gold enemies across the game's stages, and it sounds like a simple collectibles type trophy. However, this one is a right pain because of two design choices that the developers made. The first is that a destroyed golden enemy will only register and count once you have cleared that level. And the second point is that after destroying the gold enemy, if you were to then go on and die before clearing the level, then the enemy won't count as it gets reset. So, when you factor in that some levels don't let you backtrack from certain checkpoints, and that the checkpoints themselves aren't easily avoided because you'll be running too fast into them to be able to dodge, and the fact that the Act 2 of several stages of a zone also include long, really drawn out boss fights with insta-death moves and pitfalls for you to fall in, getting and registering all of these golden enemies becomes a rather tedious, frustrating and tense feat, especially in these later levels. So, a little tip from my experience: the best way to approach this trophy is to do all of these golden enemies after beating the story and gathering all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and then, where possible, simply use Tails and his super form to fly about mostly risk-free. However, finding them even when using a guide online can still be tricky, as the golden enemies are often tucked into some faraway corner of the stage, and with stages having multiple branching pathways and lots of twists and turns and things that can launch you forward, it can be a real struggle just finding and reaching them. So the first few set of zones aren't too bad, as those levels are fairly simple, but once you get to about the Golden Casino stage, it definitely starts to get trickier. Act 1 of this zone is hard because of that big boss fight at the end, as it steals all of your rings when you enter the area to fight it in, and with the awkward gimmick of the fight itself and running along the ceiling, it can easily result in you dying on those bombs and having to start the stage over again to go and smash that golden enemy once more. I just don't get why the golden enemy collectibles work this way. I mean, there are star post checkpoints in the level, so why is my progress with that golden enemy being destroyed not saved with those? It's just stupid and makes this task harder than it deserves to be. You can't even just quit out once destroying it either, as that won't save your progress. And honestly, I just feel like the devs forgot to have this save your progress, because it just seems so stupid that it doesn't. And when you also factor in how glitchy this game can be, you aren't even always 100% safe in your super forms, even when you should be. The second act of the Golden Casino stage is also BS, as the boss fight drags on and on here, and it can be really annoying to play a 5 to 10 minute level, find the golden enemy and get through to the end without dying, only to fail on the boss and have to start the whole thing all over again. Cyber Station Act 1 is also a prime example of this, as it's another long stage with a boss fight at the end that's quite cheap, and it has lots of easily insta-kill moments if you just happen to trip up and make a single mistake. However, the Golden Casino and Cyber Station pale in comparison to Egg Fortress Act 2, as this is by far the hardest gold enemy to get, as the pressure of not dying during the final boss will likely cause you to mess up, and it's an annoyingly slow and cheap boss fight, and whatever you do, don't go for this golden enemy on the trip story, as it makes this final boss fight 100 times worse. So, while I did eventually get all of the golden enemies and get this trophy, it was definitely a trophy that was made more annoying by some bad decisions on the developer's part. I really think that this should just save as soon as you smash the golden enemy for the first time, and you definitely shouldn't have to beat the stage without dying. This is just dumb, and honestly, it makes this trophy just a terrible one to go and get, and that is why the Gold Enemy Hunter, for me, is that other BS Sonic Superstars trophy. So, what did you think of this Golden Enemy trophy? Have you managed to get all of them? What did you think of it? Was it hard? Was it easy? Or did you think it was as BS as I did? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.